Back when I was in high school, I used this kiln for my senior project doing recycled glass art. Now it's about Christmas time and I've been procrastinating, so I'm going to try and make some stuff to use as gifts. This is just sort of what I've got so far. This is all recycled glass on a kiln washed surface. Kiln wash is just this powdery crap. You mix it with water and it forms like a pancake batter. And you put it on and it basically just keeps the glass from sticking. So yeah, I don't know if any of these are going to turn out right. I've had some devitrification problems in the past, which is basically when the glass on the surface tries to turn itself into a ceramic. You can polish it off, but yeah. So, firing schedule I'm going to use for this. And yes. Going to take it 600 degrees per hour to about 500 and then hold that for half an hour. That's just because I don't think the kiln wash is quite dry and I want to boil off any water that's in there or any debris because I haven't used this thing in over a year. So that's just to burn off the crap. Then I go 600 per hour to about, not 100, 1000 degrees. And don't hold that. At this point I go as fast as possible. I can't actually do 10,000 degrees per hour, but it just means it keeps the elements on all the time to get it up there as quickly as possible, because depending on the glass, around maybe 1300 to 1400 is what's known as the devitrification range, which again is when it tries to turn itself into a ceramic. So the less time you spend there, the better it'll look. Taking it up to 1700, some glass you don't need to go as high. This is all old bottles, and as such, wasn't really meant for this. So I'm going to give it a little help here. If that doesn't melt it, I'll be surprised. Then no hold at that temperature, and then take it down as quick as I can to about 900 degrees, where I'll hold it briefly. The purpose for holding it at 900 is annealing it, just sort of letting the glass settle into itself. Because where I've got different types of glass here, they'll have different coefficients of expansion, meaning that as they cool, one of them will shrink a little quicker than the other, which can lead to cracks or at least internal stress. And sometimes a piece will come out looking just fine, and then you leave it for a bit and then it'll crack, or it'll crack really easily if you drop it or scratch it or whatever. And then I've got sort of a hillbilly system for opening the lid without touching it. And opening the lid, I'm going to do what I flash cool from the 1700 down to 900. Flash cooling just makes it spend even less time in the devitrification range. There we go. Pretty soon we'll be able to see it. You can already see a glow in the elements. Camera's picking it up a lot better than you can see it in real life. Probably infrared. Well, it's passing through the devitrification zone right now. Full speed. See, the coils are a good deal brighter. Here it is approaching 600 degrees. At this point it looks like the camcorder is just picking up a white haze, but looking in I see this really cool orange. You can see all the coils very distinctly now. Approaching 1700, and when it gets there it's just going to shut off. I'm thinking I'm going to let it cool itself with the lid shut down to about 1600 before I flash cool it to 9. Not only does that mean I'll be standing in here with the top open for a shorter period of time, it also gives the glass a little bit of soak at that temperature so that it'll hopefully melt if it hasn't yet. Fell a little quicker than I'd guessed. I'm going to prop this open, let it cool a bit. Put the camera down. Oh boy, that's warm. Man, that's dropping. 1479, 1465. There's something I like to see. Cycle is done. Okay. Alright. Wow. Still pretty warm in there. See if we can't sneak a look anyway. Well, I popped the lid up. It's getting down to the point where I figured if they cracked from me opening the kiln, they might as well crack now. And I haven't reached in yet because I know they're going to be a little hotter in the air in there is, but apart from being a little blobby, I think that was really cool looking if I can get it out in one piece, that kind of starbursty one. The one that looks like great big splat of crocodile shit, well, it's shiny at least, that's a nice change. I see a little bit of divot on the one that was supposed to be holly, but that kind of looks like I don't even know what. Pulled everything out, and overall I'm pretty pleased. Couple odd bits, but heard online you can polish off some of the devitrification, so I'm going to try that on a few of these. So this kind of icicle-y looking one, the blue did just fine, but yeah, the clear vitrified all to hell and kind of busted off because I didn't put it on very well. This one came out beautifully. There's a little bit of devitrification around the edges. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother polishing it. It seems like kind of a fragile piece. I'm going to let it sit a few days before I do much else with it and see if it cracks at any of the joints, but so far it seems real nice. This one was just kind of a whatever. It's got a couple different types of glass in it, so I'm not sure if it'll hold, but it seems to have fused pretty well. I know this little band here and a little kind of, I seem to get a lot of the devitrification where the two slabs come together, just right on the edges. I don't know why. This one I think is kind of interesting because the clear devitrified, but the green didn't, so there's just this speck of green. I think that's actually an effect I might try to replicate. The camouflage Mickey Mouse, I guess. Kind of surprised. I don't know what this really white stuff is. It's like hardcore devitrification. I've never seen it like that. This one I got a little bit around the outsides of the piece again, the inner piece. I might try polishing that. Funny thing with the bottles, you can still see the labeling through it, the painted on. I really like the shape of this one. It needs a little polish, but the shape came out real cool. These, just kind of interesting. I really like this one. It's going to need a little polish over here, but I like how it came together. There's a little, like a pinhole here where you can see through to the metal, but I'm already over it. And then there's the alien turd. This one's got a little divot here and there, but nothing to write home about. It's got kind of an iridescent-y effect off the bottom where it was sitting on the kiln shelf. I like the way this one turned out. I just wish I hadn't made it look so odd. But I'll probably find something to do with it.